Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to Tabletop Baseball. And you're joining us for a presentation of the 2019 Mets using Inside Pitch. Now, this is the second game of a three-game series, and this series was played Saturday, the 27th of July, 2019, Pittsburgh at New York. Both teams have identical records. Pittsburgh is at 51-52 in our replay, and New York is at 51-52 as well. The lineup for the Pirates, it will be Kevin Newman leading it off, followed by Melky Cabrera, the ex-Yankee. Starlin Marte in center field batting third. In the cleanup spot is Josh Bell. Got 48 home runs in the replay and 400 at-bats. Yeah, 38 home runs already. And we're 105. This is a game 104, I believe. So we are having a blast with this replay for sure. And let's see. What else? So where was I? Brian Reynolds batting fifth. He's in right field. He had a great season. And in our replays, batting 348. Batting seventh is Jose Osuna, the third baseman. Jung Ho Kang, or Kong. Jung Ho Kong is the shortstop. And Jacob Stallings, the catcher, batting eighth. And then batting ninth is Trevor Williams, the pitcher. Trevor Williams was 7-9 with a 5.38 ERA and 145 innings pitched. Steven Matz was 11-10, a whole run better at 4.21 ERA and 160 innings pitched. So most of the decent pitchers were around that ERA, it seems, in 2019, which is with Philip Reynolds is in the house. Tran 879, welcome. And the way you play Inside Pitch, now I'm using Replay Baseball PC game to keep all my stats and to keep my pennant races and all that, so I can keep track of who's the wild card, what the wild card race is, and have stats for everybody. I'm using the Replay PC game. It's basically one click and you get most of it done. That's what I really like about it. Now, the way you play Inside Pitch Baseball is you roll a red, and that's going to be your column. And you look at the pitcher first, then you look at the batter, and sometimes it'll send you to the ballpark. That's the triad. So you roll the 6, and then you roll a white, a 2 for the row. So on Matt's, that's going to be a 6-2 would be a K. So now on Newman against a lefty, it's going to be a 4 plus the ballpark is a +1, so that's a 5. So if I roll a 5 or less on the 20, it's a strikeout, and it's not a strikeout. So that means we're going to roll on Kevin Newman's card right now. So the ball game has started just like that, and a 63 on Kevin Newman is a start line 3. That goes back to the pitcher, and that's chopped to second. Cano, smooth Robbie Cano, whips it to first for the first out. Melky Cabrera, he played with the Yankees in 2009. I don't know if you remember that. Steven Matz against Melky. That's a 5-3, and that's a potential K. A 19 is a really high number. I don't think that's going to be a K, and it's not. So now we roll off Melky, a 2-1, and that's a question mark 9. So that's a ball that's pulled down the line. Actually, he goes the opposite way because he's a switch hitter batting righty. So he goes the opposite way, and a 13 is going to be, and McNeil is right there. He's in right field for the Mets. The Mets defense, J.D. Davis in left, Conforto in center, and McNeil, who made that nice catch in right field. From third to first is Frazier, Rosario, Cano, and Alonso. Behind the plate is Wilson and Ramos. And then it's Steven Matz on the mound. 2 up, 2 down, and this is a whole different world. Playing 2019, I got a lot of retro replays going, but when I go to 2019, it's a whole different ball game, my friends. There's a lot of substitutions. A lot of pitchers can only go 4 batters usually, or 5 batters. If you're lucky, you get one with 6 batters. Starting pitchers go into early 20 batters faced. It's a whole different world of baseball. Starling Marte, who in the replay is batting .299 with 13 home runs. That's a 1-3, and that's a range play ballpark. So this is a fun one. You grab an extra die here. We're going to roll the green now. A 6 is going to be an automatic hit, and a 1 is an automatic out. So let's see what we get. A 1 is going to be an automatic out. 4-4, unless, of course, it's a rare play. That's ripped to shortstop. Rosario scoops it, rifles to first in time to get the speedy Marte. And that retires the side. Bottom of the second. Lineup for the Mets. It's McNeil in right field leading it off, followed by Michael Conforto, the center fielder. Pete Alonso, the rookie, at first base. Robbie Cano, second base in the cleanup spot. Wilson Ramos batting 5th. He's the catcher. Batting 6th is the third baseman, Todd father, Frazier. Batting 7th is J.D. Davis in left field. Batting 8th is Ahmed Rosario. And in the 9th hole is Steven Matz, the pitcher. Here's the pitch from Trevor Williams. He's a righty. Oh, I don't need that. It's a 2-2, and that's going to be wild. So that's going to be like a foul ball. Souvenir for a lucky fan. So 1-2, and that's going to be a potential K against McNeil, and he doesn't strike out very much. He's known as the Flying Squirrel. That's his nickname. So we're rolling off McNeil, and that's line base hit to right. Reynolds plays it on a hop. So McNeil is on with a leadoff single for the Mets, and we're going to see if we can get a lead. We cannot. Michael Conforto. Here's the pitch. A 2-1 is again a strikeout. And a 6 will be a strikeout. So, it would. I didn't change cards, but it's a strikeout anyway. Actually, Conforto has a higher strikeout number. So Williams fans Conforto for the first out, and now it's Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso in yesterday's game, the game I played this morning, hit 2 home runs, as did Dominic Smith. Mets won that 12-2. 5-1, and against a right, it's a star line. So we're going to roll a yellow, which takes us to the ground ball to the third baseman, Ozuna. This is a potential double play opportunity. It's going to be a 3. It's going to be a 4. I don't think Newman gets any pluses for pivot. And he does not. Actually, no. Newman is a second base. He doesn't get a plus, so it's a 4. So a 4 or less on the next die that I roll will either tell us it's a double play or it isn't. Let's see what happens. So Pete Alonso lines one short, one hopper to Ozuna, and let's see if he can turn it. And he does. It's going to be a 5-4-3. Newman back to Bell at first base. So it's around the horn, and that retires the side. And that's all one click right there. Doing that round the horn double play is one click on Replay Baseball PC game. Now, Replay doesn't have every single season, so I also use Stratomatic for my 87 replay, and I'm not sure one other replay that I'm doing. Replay does not have every single season on PC. Yes, that's right. A rare play supersedes the range play. A rare play supersedes everything. Absolutely. Because it's a blank, so it tells you, hey, it's a blank. Go to the rare play chart. And what you get on the rare play chart is you get a bunch of error opportunities, and you get a bunch of injuries and ejections, that sort of thing. So, there's not a lot of bird hit in flight by a batted ball or that sort of those extreme cases. There's not a lot of those. I've tried AppleGo Online, Barton Law. I have tried it, and it was so much like the card game. It made me want to go roll some dice, and I started playing App again because of that AppleGo Online. All right. So it's Josh Bell against Steven Matz. Let's get rid of all these extra dice that we used. Got to have a bunch of extra dice with this game, but it does have lots of detail and nuance, and it really feels like a ball game. So it's off the pitcher. Here's the pitch from Matz. It's a 3-1, and that's going to be a blank. 3-1. Oh, no, 3-1 is not a blank. It's a wild, so it does become a blank because there's nobody on base. Going to roll again. A Snake Eyes is a potential K. A 20 will not be a K. That's just too high off Josh Bell. He's a switch hitter, batting righty. It's a 1-5, and that's a star line 5, which is lifted to center. Conforto under it and makes the catch. Brian Reynolds, right-handed batter, pitch from Matz. That's a 6-4, and that's a ballpark, so we're rolling off the ballpark. City Field. A 6-2 is a line base hit to right, and Reynolds is going to try for 2. He's thinking about it at least, takes a big turn, and let's see what happens here. And he tries for 2, and the throw to second, and he is out. Beautiful tag by Ahmed Rosario, and a BB by McNeil in the right. So that's going to be a single and an out. So he singles, and he's thrown out at 9-6. He's out at second. So Brian Reynolds got greedy there. And it's Jose Ozuna with 2 outs. The pitch, it's a 6-5, and that's a potential K and a 4. Strike 3. And Matz blows one by Ozuna to end the inning. Trevor Williams versus Robbie Cano. And Cano, one of my favorite players, was with the Yankees. I'll never forget, I believe it was a 2006 or 2008 season where Cano was batting 9th and leading the league in batting. He ended the season with, I think, a 348 average. But for a long time, he was leading the league or at the top of the league leaders, and he was batting 9th, and then they moved him down to 8th because he was hitting so well. That's pretty fun. So it's going to be Cano, pitch from Williams, 5-5. And that's a potential error. Let's see what happens here. 5-4 on Robbie Cano. 5-4 is a ground ball to the first baseman, Bell. Now, I don't have a lot of these memorized or written down anywhere, so I have to do kind of, yeah, it's a 6. So it's not going to be an error. Bell takes it himself for out number 1. Wilson Ramos, here's a pitch. 5-6. That's a potential hit by pitch. And he's got a 6. We rolled a 13, so that's above that. So we're going to roll on Ramos for 1-3, and that's chopped to short. Kong waits back now, charges, fires the first in plenty of time. Wilson Ramos, known as the, I was going to call him the Walrus. That's Munson, the Buffalo. And he's probably one of the slowest players in baseball, Wilson Ramos. All right, Todd Frazier, 2-3. That's a walk plus. It's going to be a walk. Ball 4. And Frazier trots down to first with 2 outs. J.D. Davis now. There's no score here in the bottom of the second. That's a 5-1, and against a righty, that's a star line. And a 1 is going to be popped up, center field. Marte moves in under it and makes the catch. And we go to the top of the third. So it's Young Ho Kang. I believe that's how you say his name. Here's the pitch, 1-1. That's a potential K, a 17. Oh, a 17, a strike 3. Curveball gets him. 1 away. So Matz with a nice curve fell off the table and perplexed Kong. Stallings, the catcher. 2-3, and that's a potential error on the throw. And that's a 2-6er. That's a fly ball center field. And Conforto squeezes it. And that's a pitcher batting card. Trevor Williams. 4-6 is a range play. That's interesting. Range play right there. And that's going to be an out. 3-1. Chop to second. Cano over to first, and that retires the side. We got a little mini 2019 pitchers duel here. I printed out these cards myself. Lately, I've been doing that simply because I don't want to wait. I feel like the post office is moving a little bit slower than usual. I don't know if you guys get that sense, but that's the sense that I've been getting. And I don't want to wait a week or 10 days or even deal with that. So I've just been buying the PDFs and printing them out. I joined the Insta Ink. It's like you can do $5 a month for 100 pages or $10 a month for 300 pages. That's the one I started off with. I've got like 5 computers. So my daughter spent the day like setting everything up for me. I took care of her, gave her a nice reward for that. I think she was happy. Ahmed Rosario against Trevor Williams here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. That's a 3-1. And that's going to be a potential K, a 14 versus a righty. Is going to take us to Rosario's card. 2-3, and that's going to be a ground ball to the left side, no, to the right side, and past Newman for base hit. So Rosario's on with a single. Here comes Matz. We're going to try to bunt with Matz. And he is a 3 bunter. I think the 12 will do it. The 12 should do it. A 3 bunter, no. The 12 says foul ball. Let's try it again. And a 5 will do it. So that's going to be a bunt to who? To the... That's a little number in front of the plate. There's only one play. Stallings fires to Newman. So it's going to be a sacrifice hit for Steven Matz. It's going to bring up Jeff McNeil. He's a lefty. Swings at the first pitch more often than not. Rosario with great speed. Let's see what he was rated here. Although these ratings aren't speed, but he's been rated a 4. So that's above average. Here's a pitch to McNeil. That's a 2-6, and that's a blank. So we're going to roll off McNeil's card. And so a 1-3, and that's a fly ball to center. Marte backing up. 2 out, and it's Michael Conforto. It's a 6-3, and that's an error on the ground. A 5-6. It's going to be a ground ball shortstop. And this may be an error on Kong at short. He made a ton of errors, and the 13 is going to qualify for an error, so that he boots it, and that allows Rosario to go to third. So it's going to be an E6. That flashes on the board. First and third for Pete Alonso. Trevor Williams looks in for the sign, sets and deals. 4-5 against a right is a K+. That's almost guaranteed to be a K, and it is. Fastball. That was a fastball by Alonso. And Alonso is angry with himself, heads back to the dugout. All right. And now it's going to be Kevin Newman leading it off. Kevin Newman batted .308 for the Pirates. This is a 1-2, a potential strikeout, an 18. Won't be. We look at Newman, 6'3". That's a ground ball to second. Cano charges it, barehands it, throw to first, and in time. Nice play by Robbie Cano. Doesn't have the range he once had. And is constantly, accused of dogging it. 4-3, and that's a strikeout potential on a sixer against a lefty, and that's going to be strike 3. And Matz rings up Melky Cabrera for the second out of the inning. At the top of the fourth, no score. Say 5-5 against Starling Marte. That's a walk plus. It's going to be a walk. Oh wow. He's only a 1 versus a lefty, so that makes it an 11. We roll a 7. It is a walk. It's within that range. So Marte has good speed. Going to roll the 20. Oh, it's a 20. He may get picked off. A 17. He won't be picked off. Let's see what happens. Josh Bell hit 37 home runs. In the replay, he already has 38. So he's having a heck of a season. 4-4, that's a potential K. A 9 is strike 3, and that retires the side. Big K by Steven Matz. Both these pitchers are really pitching a heck of a ball game. I mean, this is unexpected. I'm not used to this. Bottom of the fourth, Pittsburgh has no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and New York has no runs, 2 hits, no errors. I sure did. My daughter she got paid $25 an hour, and that's pretty good because she doesn't make that much, not even close to that much. But she did spend like an hour on it. I paid her for 3 hours. It was well worth it because I could have never done it myself. So, I mean, what's the value, ID gesture, of something you can't do yourself, right? What's the value of that? there is no. I mean, if I can't do it, hey, you can charge me what you want because it's worth it to me. I can't do it. Anyway, Robbie Cano. Of course, you always want to be smart about it. Robbie Cano, left-handed hitter, leading off the inning. In this inning, we're going to see Cano, Ramos, and Frazier. Here's the pitch from Williams. It's a snake eyes. That's going to be a potential K. A 15 is not a K on Cano's card, so we roll off Cano's card. 4-1, and that's a drive, and that's going to split the outfielders. Marte off the wall. Marte picks it up and throws it to second base, and not nearly in time. It's a leadoff double for Robbie Cano. Now, Robbie Cano is 37 years old, so he's losing this. He's missing out on this season. He still has 3 or 4 more years on that crazy $24 million a year, 10-year contract that he signed with Seattle. That was nuts. Those long-term contracts, I don't see them as ever paying off really, unless you get the guy in his mid-20s, like 24. I just don't see a 10-year contract as paying off. All right, so it's Wilson Ramos with Cano at second base, nobody out. And that's foul back. We're going to re-roll that. Souvenir for a lucky fan. That's a 5-5. 5-5 is a walk plus. That's ball 4. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong place. All right, 5-5. Is against Ramos, a righty. A 5-5 is a potential home run. So we roll a 2, and that ball is a deep drive to left field. Back goes Cabrera to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. 2-run home run. Wilson Ramos gets a hold of a Trevor Williams fastball and drives it deep over the left field fence. For 2 runs, Mets lead at 2-0. Todd Frazier, 1-1. That's a K. And a 15 is not a K. So we roll off of Frazier 4-4, and that's going to be a fly ball deep center field. Back goes Marte to the track and makes the catch right before the wall. So Frazier gave it a ride, but just didn't get out, and it's Davis. Trevor Williams with 1 out, 3-3. And that's a question mark home run, and a 1 is going to be a potential home run versus a righty. We're looking at a 12 or less, and that's a deep drive, and that's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Cabrera again to the track, to the wall. Gone. 3-0 Mets. Ahmed Rosario. Pitch from Williams. 6-6, that's a potential K. A 20 won't be a K. So we're rolling off of Rosario. 4-4. It's a fly ball, deep right field. Back goes Reynolds and makes the catch right before the track. For out number 2. Looks like Williams is pitching batting practice. All right. Steven Matz up. 2 outs. 3-4. And 3-4 is a potential K. A 7 is strike 3, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up 3 runs on 2 big home runs. And they lead it by a score of 3-0. Go to top of the 5th. It's going to be Brian Reynolds leading it off. Brian Reynolds, Jose Ozuna, and Young Ho Kang. Brian Reynolds, pitch from Nats. 3-4 is a potential walk, and a 9 is not a walk. So we're rolling off Reynolds. So switch hitter, 66. That's fly to center. Racing in his Conforto. Will he get there? Yes, he does. Out number 1. So he got a good jump on that. Little sinking line drive to center field. Pitch from Matz. 2-6. That's a potential home run against Ozuna. The roll is a 13 against a lefty. And no. So we're going to roll off Ozuna, see what happens. 6-4, and that's a comebacker. Matz feels his position. Over to Alonso, so it's 1-3 for out number 2. Kang now. It's a 4-1, that's a blank, so we're rolling off Kang. Then It's a 3-4, and that's going to be line down the line into left field corner. J.D. Davis off the wall, kind of rolls away from him. Around second is Khan going for third. Here's the throw, not in time, in under the tag. So a triple, a 2-out triple for Young Ho Khan. And it's Jacob Stallings. So 1-2 is a potential K. A 16 will not be a K. We're rolling off Stallings. 4-1, that's fly to right, shallow right, towards the line. McNeil gets under it, puts it away, and that retires the side. We go to bottom of the fifth. Now Trevor Williams can go 24. Let's see what he's done. I just click on the box score and it'll tell me. Trevor Williams has done 18 so far. Here's the pitch to McNeil leading off. That's a 3-6. That's a tired single, but it won't be a single. A 1-6er. That's a fly to right. Brian Reynolds. He's over. Michael Conforto. It's a 2-1. That's a potential strikeout at 12. Strike 3. Oh, no. No, it won't be. Just missed it by 1. So we're rolling off Conforto. A 1-4, and that's chopped to third. Ozuna crashes in. Barehands it, fires the first, and in time. Nice play by Ozuna at third base. Pete Alonso. That's a 5-2. That's a ballpark result. We're going to look at Citi Field. 5-2 on Citi Field, and that's chopped to short. Kong waits back. Now charges. Fires the first. Gets his man. We go to top of the sixth. It's 3-0 Mets. And it's going to be Williams coming up. Let's see how many more batters Williams can do. He can go at least 21. Or Williams can go 24. This is a tough decision. We are in the top of the sixth. I will be forced to do something I don't want to do and bring in a pinch hitter. Unfortunately. And that whole vicious circle begins. The whole vicious circle of pinch hitter. Let me see if I can double switch here. That way I can, but there's no pitcher that can really go very long. I got one guy that can go. His name is Chris Stratton. I'm going to use him again. So I'm going to pinch hit versus a lefty. I removed all my lefties from the lineup. So we're going to bring, I don't want to use the catcher for obvious reasons. I don't know if I have any pinch hitters now. Oh, there's Trevor Williams hitting card. I knew I had one. Let me pop that in there. Well, he's not going to bat anymore anyway, so who cares, right? He's out if I can find a pinch hitter. Let me take a quick peek here at what we got. Let me actually check inside the roster because the rosters are pretty close. They're not absolute, but they're close enough for me. So let's look at the roster. The roster has Dickerson, a lefty, Frazier, a lefty. Moran is not Moran. I'm sorry, Moran. I'm going to take a look at him. Where was he? He was over here somewhere. I can't remember if he's a lefty also. So we got all lefties. So I'm going to bring in a lefty, Corey Dickerson. That's all I got. So Dickerson's going to come in. And Dickerson's still with the team. He played yesterday. He's going to pinch hit. And then I'm going to bring in Stratton, Chris Stratton. So let's Dickerson leading it off against Steven Matz. Lefty on lefty. Here goes. So 1-2, and that's a potential K, and a 7 is strike 3. Matz blows a fastball. The high cheese gets Dickerson for the first out. So I'd like to be able to use Dickerson in left field right now. That way I can do the double switch, and I'll see. I learned finally how to do it on Replay Baseball. So it's Kevin Newman. I think Jeff Newman is from another era. Kevin Newman. Right-handed batter. It's a 5-2. 5-2 is a potential error on a grounder. And that's a 2-1, and that's a star line 6, which is fly to right. McNeil makes a nice catch. 2 outs. and it's Melky Cabrera. It's a 6-1 range play, so we're going to roll with the 6. Remember, with the green 6 for range, the 6 is going to be a hit, and the 1 is going to be an out, and you got to check everything else in between. So it's going to be a 1-4. Blah, 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 blah. Range play, 1-4 off of, yeah, that was a range play right here. It's going to be a 1-4, and that's a ground ball, third base, and that's going to get by Frazier for sure. I don't think he's a 4, but I may be wrong. He may be a 4, may make a great play there. Nope, gets by Frazier right under his glove, and I'm going to have to roll one to see. A 5 or a 6 is going to be a double, and nope, it's a single down the line. Cut off by Davis, gets it in quickly to Rosario, and they hold Cabrera to a single. It's a 2-out single for Melky Cabrera. It's going to be Starling Marte with 2 outs and a runner at first base. The Pirates are down 3-0 here in the top of the 6th. Starling Marte is batting .298 in our replay with 13 home runs and 22 stolen bases. For the season, he had 23 home runs and 25 stolen bases. So he's a little bit ahead on the stolen bases. Here's the pitch from Matz. That's a 2-5. And let's make sure Matz is not tired yet. We got to take a quick peek. He's at 20 batters faced, and he can pitch to 23. So that's a 2-5, and a 2-5 is a question mark home run against a righty. It's not a home run, so we're rolling off of Marte now. 4-5. 4-5 is a comebacker to Matz. Matz is going to field it, throws over to Alonso, and that retires the side. So Steven Matz is pitching a heck of a ball game. He's got a 3-hit shutout right now. Got to let out my dog. He came to visit me. The door opens from the outside in, but then you can't get out. So I got to change that, right? You got to change that, buddy? Come on. All right, calm down. Calm down. All right, I'm not going to. We are in the bottom of the 6th here in Flushing, Queens. Beautiful downtown Flushing, Queens. Whenever you want to come to a ball game, you grab the L train and you get off at Willets Point. You'll see the stadium. It's just a few steps from Citi Field. Citi Field is not 10 minutes from LaGuardia Airport, so if you want to fly in, you can always do that and go directly to the ballpark. There's a couple of hotels in there. There's a few hotels, a handful in the area. So I would do that. I would take 10 days and go to a homestand and watch 10 games and just stay in the hotel and spend the whole day at the ballpark, eat at the ballpark, live at the ballpark, sleep at the ballpark. That would be my vacation, my dream vacation. I don't know if I'm going to get to do that this year. This year may be a bust for baseball. That's going to affect think about how it's going to affect all the gaming companies. Because, you know, they make a chunk of change every year on the new season, right? Everybody gets excited about the new season. But I know I'm not going to be excited about a season where guys only play maybe 90 games if we're lucky. We're probably going to miss 2 months of the season. So if we only, you know, if they play 90 games, it's going to be one of those lost seasons like 81, 94. So 2020 will go down as one of those seasons where you replay it to see the fantasy results that you can create, rather than replaying it for, you know, to replay this, to simulate, to see if you know how close you can get it type thing. It's a different approach totally. So Robbie Cano, he steps in, and Robbie Cano today, the new pitcher is going to be Chris Stratton. I'm going to pop him in there. Here we go again for us. Chris Stratton is going to pitch, and Robbie Cano today is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Got a double. Here's the pitch from Stratton. That's a 6-2. And that's against a righty, it's a potential home run, but against a lefty, it's a blank. It's a 5-5er, and that's fly ball right field. That's lined in the gap, and Reynolds runs it down. Nice play by Ryan Reynolds out there. Never made the double switch. Just got distracted with the dog, but Ryan Reynolds makes a nice catch out there. And it's Wilson Ramos. He's got a 2-run home run. Here's the pitch from Stratton. That's a 1-4. That's a home run question mark. A 16 versus a righty will not be a home run. So we're moving on to Wilson Ramos' card, and that's line base hit to right. Ramos goes the other way, lines one over the head of Newman, and Reynolds plays it on a hop. So Wilson Ramos has his second hit of the day. Next is the Todd father, Todd Frazier, 6'6". It's a range play. Range play off Todd Frazier's card. So we're going to re-roll now. We didn't use that one. We're going to keep it there in case we need it. That's going to be a 6-1 and a 5. So 6-1, and that's going to be line to right. That may be caught, but I highly doubt Reynolds is a 5. I can almost guarantee Reynolds is not a 5. And Reynolds is a 3 in right field. So that drops in for a base hit. And Wilson Ramos is going to go station to station. He's not a speedy. He's known as the Buffalo. Not speedy at all. The huge man. And it's J.D. Davis. So Stratton getting himself into a little bit of a bind here with runners on first and second and only one out. Ramos is at second base. Todd Frazier at first. Davis at the plate. J.D. Davis in our replays batting .297 with 10 home runs. In reality, he batted .307 with 22 home runs. So he's pretty much right on track. Here's the pitch from Stratton. There is some action in the Pittsburgh bullpen. That's a 4-5er, and that's going to be a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. And Ramos, I believe, is a 1. You may be able to score on this. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to be able to score on this. The base hit up the middle around. They're waving Ramos home, and the throw is cut off. Frazier, let's see what Frazier is. Frazier, I believe, is a 3, so he may be able to go to third on that S1. And he's a 4, so he's not going to make it there. He's going to stop at second. Had there been 2 outs, he would make it. So let's see how we do this. Let's go to detail, and we're going to do a single. 1 run scores. The other one stays at second. RBI single for J.D. Davis. The Mets are up 4-0. Rosario now. Here's a pitch from Stratton. Chris Stratton was 1-3 with a 5.57 ERA in 76 innings. That's a 4.2, and that's a potential K. An 8 will be a K. So he rings up Rosario. 2 outs now. 4-0 Mets in the bottom of the 6th. And it's Steven Matz. Steven Matz can go, what do we say his batter's face? He can go 23. And Matz has gone 21. We're going to try to get him through one more inning, let him bat here. You know what? I'm going to pull him. I'm going to pull him for a pinch hitter. Juan Lagares is going to come in. You know what? I'm not going to do Juan Lagares right now. I'm going to do Dominic Smith. Dominic Smith is coming in. Let's just make sure he's in there. Dom Smith is gone. Dom Smith. Oh, wait. Is Dom Smith in the lineup? Dom Smith. Oh, yeah, he's gone. He got injured. This is when Dom Smith gets injured and disappears for 2 months. Comes back like in the last game of the season and hits a game-winning home run. Okay, so Dom Smith is done. Wow. So for pinch hitters, who do I have? Lagares, Echeverria. Echeverria is still around. Oh, I have Aaron Alter. Alter. I don't know how to say that, but hard to say. T-H. Alter. All right, let's see. Let's see where he is. I may not even have him here. He may be in the extra players, so I'm going to have to pull him out after this game. So it'll make my life easier, just not going to use him right now. Also, I don't even know. He may be with the Phillies. No, I'm just going to use Echevarria. Echevarria should be. Oh wait, Echevarria could be with the Braves. I just started this. Let's grab the Braves here. Where are the Braves? Ah, because I just started this replay using Inside Pitch, so I haven't made all the changes and all the adjustments, and I haven't picked up all the players. The way Inside Pitch does it is they give you every player, but you got to go and dig into the teams that they finished the season with. And I know Echevarria was playing with the Braves towards the end of the season. So we're looking for Echevarria here because he's going to pinch hit. And I know Alter is with the Phillies, I believe. He finished the season with the Phillies. He started with the Phillies, came to the Mets, went back to the Phillies. I believe that was his tracking. So I don't see Echevarria. I'm wondering why he's not in here. Let's see, maybe he's at the end. He wouldn't be an extra player because he had a 200 at bats, I believe. All right, so I don't have him there. Let me check with the Mets. Let's see what happens here with the Mets real quick. See if he's with the Mets. If not, I'll just go in a different direction. It's a small break in the action. This is Tabletop Baseball TV. And we're looking for Echevarria. Now, once you get your hands on these and it gets the kind of the natural oils from your fingers, they get easier to handle. There he is. So I do have him on the team. So I don't really understand why he's on this team when I think he ended with the Phillies. But anyway, so be it. I found him. He's going to pinch hit Aaron Alter. And I have him on the team. I know I saw him in the box score, so I know he's available. So here goes. Chris Stratton with 2 outs, runners on first and second. Alter is not a really good hitter. 4-1 is a potential K, and a 4 is strike 3, and he blows a fastball by Alter, and that retires the side. We got a new pitcher for the Mets. It's going to be Gsellman. So we're going to bring in Gsellman. We've got everybody available. All right, let's see. Gsellman comes in. Tell you a little bit about Gsellman. In the replay, Gsellman's got a 3.75 ERA. He's pitched 60 innings. Gsellman pitched 63 innings in reality, so he's got a little bit extra. So they're not really basing, they got to kind of limit it when it sims. All right, so Gsellman against Josh Bell. To lead off the top of the 7th, it's 4-0 Mets. Pittsburgh's got no runs, 3 hits, 1 error. Mets have 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Josh Bell, he's a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He's got 38 home runs on the season, having a heck of a season. That's a 6.6. That's a potential K, but an 18 is very high. So we're rolling off Bell's card. A 3-4, and that's a fly ball deep left field. Back goes Davis in the gap and makes the catch. Nice catch by J.D. Davis out there in left field. He's learning the outfield. He's been playing third base for the Mets. He plays third base, left field, but he's primarily an infielder. Brian Reynolds now, pitch from Gsellman, 4-1. That's a range play. So we're going to re-roll. We didn't use the 20 side, so we're not going to roll that. That's going to be a 1-3. 1-3 is popped up to the first baseman. Can he get there? And Alonso by the stands and makes the catch. Great catch by Pete Alonso. Does get there. He's a 4, and we rolled a 4. Let's say a foul out 3. And that's 2 outs. Next is Jose Ozuna. So 1-2, and that's a potential hit by pitch +7. It's a 10, roll a 14, so it won't be. Rodolfo Zuna, 6'2". That's a fly ball, deep right field. Back goes McNeil and makes the catch right at the track. It's F9, and that retires the side. Jeff McNeil leading it off, the flying squirrel against Chris Stratton. Let me see if Chris Stratton's tired already. He may be tired. He can go 8, and Stratton has gone 6. We've got still 1 inning in him. All right, so 6-1, and that's a potential K. We roll a 6 versus a righty at strike 3. And McNeil doesn't like it. Says something to the ump under his breath. Ump stares him down a little bit. This ump seems a little confrontational. Chris Stratton against Michael Conforto, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Mets are up 4-0. That's a 3-4. 3-4 is a potential K, and a 1 is strike 3. Goes a fastball by Conforto. And Conforto swinging for the fences. Next is Pete Alonso, pitch from Stratton. He's fatigued now. 4-2, that's a potential K, and a 19 won't be a K. We roll off of Pete Alonso's car. That's a fly ball, deep right field. Cabrera backing up on the track and makes the catch. And that retires the side. A lot of deep fly balls today. Go to top of the 8th. Gazelman's still in there. He can go 5. Let's see how many he's gone. Maybe Gazelman's got 2 more, so the last one will be fatigued. Robbie Gazelman versus Khan. Young Ho Khan. Snake Eyes, that's a double question mark. A 9 on a double question mark versus a righty is a star line. Star line 1 is chopped to short. Rosario charging, fires to first in time for out number 1. Catcher Stallings. It's a 6, that's a potential K, and an 8 is strike 3. 2 outs. Now we're going to bring in a pinch hitter, another lefty. That's all I got left. I got the righty. I got the catcher righty, but I'm not going to use him. Colin Moran is coming in to pinch hit for Stratton. Here's a pitch from Gazelman. And on this one, he should be tired now. So it's a 3-1. A 3-1 is a ballpark result. We're rolling off of Citi Field. A 1-2, and that's a chop to second. Cano, easy out. 4-3, gets him at first, and that retires the side. We got a new pitcher. It's going to be Keone Kela is coming in. Keone Kela. We got Cano, a lefty. Let's see what we got coming up here before we make our decision. We got Cano, a lefty, a righty, and a righty. Yep, we're going to bring in Kela. Keone Kela. Love that name. And he's there. I did see him pitch in this series, so I pulled these guys out because I saw him pitch. So I double-check. Replay does the actual rosters for you, but I just double-check them. So it's Robbie Cano in the bottom of the 8th. 4-0 Mets. Here's the pitch from Kela. Kela was 2-0 with a 2.12 ERA and 29 innings pitched. That's a 1-4. That's a K+. K+ is strike 3 on Cano. Goes a fastball by Robbie Cano. Robbie Cano, with age, doesn't really get to those fastballs the way he once did. Kela against Ramos. And that's a 2-1. That's a walk plus. Walk plus on a 9. It looks like it's going to be a walk, and it is. Ball 4. Ramos walks. Frazier now. The 5-3. That's a K+, and that's a strike 3. 2 outs. Brings up Frazier. J.D. Davis steps in the box. Kela looks in for the sign, sets, and deals. It's a 1-5 range play. Range play, and that's a 6-3, and that's a fly ball right field. Will we get there? Reynolds is not. It's going to drop in. And is it going to be a single or a double? And it's going to be a single. Gets it in quickly to Newman. And it keeps Davis. At first, Ramos held up anyway, so Ramos is not fleet of foot, if you will. Rosario's next. See the pitch to Rosario. That's a 6-6. And a 6-6 off Kella, who's already tired. Because he can face 4 batters. Kella's gone 4 batters, so this is his 5th batter. So he's tired. So it's a 6-6 K plus. And a K plus versus a righty is going to be a 17-18. It's a 14. So that's strike 3, and that retires the side. Go top of the 9th, last licks for the Pirates. 4-0 game. We're going to bring in any lefties here, facing any lefties. Newman, let's see, Newman. All right, he's a righty. You got a righty and a switch hitter and a righty. That's righty. So let's see who can. We're going to bring in Diaz. We're going to bring in Diaz. I know it's not a safe situation, but we want Diaz to get some work. So we're going to bring him in and look and see what he's looking like. He had an awful 2019 season. Just awful. Had almost a 6 ERA. Gave up 15 home runs in the 9th inning, most by any relief pitcher in 1 inning. I'm looking for, Edwin Diaz. There he is. All right, Edwin Diaz is coming in. Let's look and take a look and we'll see what he's doing this season. He's 4.60 ERA, 3-5 record, 23 saves. Right about where he should be. Maybe the saves are a little bit higher than he should have. He's going to pitch to Kevin Newman. Here's the pitch. That's a 5-6. That's a double question mark, a 14 versus a righty. And that's going to be a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Leadoff single for Newman. Game is still within reach. Pitch to Cabrera, 1-5. That's a potential error. And a 4-3. 4-3 is a ground ball to third. That may be an error on Frazier. Let's see. There was, I believe, an error on a grounder. Or just a plain error. It's just a plain error. And it's going to be an error on Frazier. So let's see what the result is of that. It's going to be an error. Failed error check. It was a 4-3. Down to the third. So that was on a grounder. Boots the ball. E5 flashes on the scoreboard. Here in the top of the 9th, it's 4-0 Mets. But the Pirates now have their 2 men on base. The first 2 batters reach. One on a single and the other on an error. So Diaz is already in a pickle. Edwin Diaz looks in for the sign. He's having trouble controlling the slider. Getting behind batters. Starling Marte. So 1-6, and that's wild. A 15 is a foul ball. Again, a 3-1. Let me see. Failed. Wild is usually repeated, I believe. With no runners on. Now we go to the batter car. 3-1. That's a hard hit ground ball, but right at the shortstop, Rosario. This may be a double play. It's a 1, it's a 2. We need a 2 for a double play. And we get it. It's a 6-4-3 double play. So the Mets turn it. Rosario to Cano to Alonso. And that's 2 outs now. It's going to be Josh Bell. It's a 5-2. That's a K plus for Edwin Diaz, a 15. Against a righty, it's going to be an 18. That's strike 3, and that's the ball game. Mets win it. Mets win it. Steven Matz gets the win. He improves his record to 6-8. Trevor Williams takes the loss. He drops to 5-6. Wilson Ramos is going to be the MVP. The Mets even their record at 52-52. Let's look at Wilson Ramos. He had a 2-run home run, drove in 2 runs. And that was the big hit of the game. It's a 4-0 shutout. So 3 Mets pitchers combined for a shutout, a 4-hitter. It was Matz, Gsellman, and Diaz. They allow 4 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. They faced 31 batters. So I think the Mets pitching really stood out today. And this is CP Cards and Dice from Tabletop Baseball TV. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation of the 2019 Mets game 104 between the Pittsburgh Pirates at Citi Field in New York, in Queens, beautiful Flushing, Queens, New York. And that's it. So this is CP Cards and Dice saying I will be back at maybe later with another broadcast, probably of the Mets 2019 season. I was itching for 2019 season a little bit, just because I was playing so much retro stuff that I had, by this time I'm watching games every night. This is really sad. But anyway, I don't want to cry on stream. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Tribe Fan and ID Jester and everybody who's here, Barton Lowe and everybody. Philip Reynolds was here for a little bit. Take care, guys. I will see you soon.